Today we're going to be looking at Tristan Wirfs, the right tackle for Iowa. So here he is, number 74. This guy's definitely a potential number 4 overall pick for the Giants, a guy who blew it up at the combine, and we'll see if they fall in love with that. So here's the first rep, basically a stunt right here. I think the defensive tackle comes over to his side at the right tackle position, and he does a good job just moving his feet, keeping his arms locked. I like this rep a lot from him, and as I said in the previous videos, I like to see how these guys handle stunt plays because a team like the Cowboys loves to run these. So if you see a tackle handling it well in college, it proves that they'll probably do the same thing in the NFL. So you see his feet moving very nicely right there. Shows good power, good base, arm extended. So that's a good rep right there. Quarterback has a long time to throw the ball. It only turns into a 2-yard game, but I think the offensive line did their job there. So this play for Iowa was not that great overall. It was only like a 2-yard gain, but Tristan Wirfs right here, covered up by the tight end, does a nice job on this rep, in my opinion, just sealing off his man and creating basically a lane for his running back. But, there's a lot of people blitzing on this play. I think this guy on the weak side gets in the backfield. So, you can't really blame Wirfs for that. But I think, some guys lost containment on their blocks. But I think as for Wirfs specifically, does a really nice job of basically clearing out 2 people right here. There's one guy here. There's one guy here. So basically, I know his right guard's helping him, but still doing a nice job of clearing out this lane. And look, if there was no weak side help on defense, that's a big lane for possibly a really big gain for the running back. So it is what it is. I know the defense blitzed on this play and it kind of took away what could have been a nice game, but I think Tristan Wirfs by himself on this play did a really nice job. So this pass blocking rep right here had a lot to do with hand placement, and number 89 in the defensive end here, or edge rusher, whatever he is, kind of puts his hands too high, but Tristan Wirfs does a good job of getting his hands low, getting all the leverage. He squares his shoulders throughout that entire rep and just does a really nice job of not allowing any pressure on this play. So it shows that strong base. You see his hands right here, basically like under the armpit area, but that's, really good leverage right there by him. The defensive end goes pretty high with his hands, and Tristan Wirfs has controlled him this entire rep, so he probably could have held him off a bit longer and, definitely creates a nice pocket for his quarterback. So I think sometimes like 40-yard dashes can be overblown for certain positions and sometimes offensive linemen, but this is an instance right here where your 40 time might come into play. So it's going to be like a reverse play, an end around reverse, basically some pretty crazy stuff going on. But you see Wirfs right here, and the guy he's blocking wants no part of it, and that's an easy walk-in touchdown right there. So it shows his speed, and going against a cornerback or a secondary player, it's definitely a mismatch. But if he didn't have the speed to get out here and the ball carrier did not have the patience to let that block develop, it might have been bad news. But he has enough speed to get out here, make this block. If you want to call it a block, I think the guy just kind of took a play off right there, and an easy walk-in touchdown. But that's a nice play to show your speed right there, your versatility, and of course, if you can block people in the secondary like that, you'll have a very successful NFL career. So this play was a lot like the second one, I believe, that we saw. It's another really nice seal in the run game. You see him right here clearing his man out of the way, and it wasn't a big game because once again there was like weak side help right here by I think number 15. So yeah, you see Wirfs right here doing a really nice job in creating this hole right here. So this guy has the strength to clear out running lanes, and obviously the NFL defenses are different, and guys are going to be a little bigger and stronger. But if you can do this and just basically manhandle people in college, especially a team like USC where they have some good players there, it's definitely a good thing to see. So this guy in the running game, very good blocker it seems like. So if he can make seal blocks like this and create lanes, on counter plays for his running back like this, that would be a tremendous feature right there. Here's another good rep in the run game. He basically takes out the defensive end right here. It's not a big gain like all the other plays, but as for Tristan Wirfs, he does his job right here very nicely. His body's, bending in different directions, but this guy is very athletic, you can see right here, and just keeps his shoulders square once again and creates a lane for his running back. Basically takes his man, number 89, out of this play, and the running back gets by him. So, unfortunately, some linebackers come and make this tackle, but as for Tristan Wirfs, he's definitely taking care of his responsibility on these run plays. So here's another example where he shows off that really tremendous speed for an offensive lineman. This could have been a really big gain if the running back was able to cut it back inside, but unfortunately there were too many guys there. But you watch him right here out in front of his running back, and if this guy 99 wasn't here, he could have cut it in and had an even bigger gain. But to have your right tackle all the way 15 yards downfield right here, I know this was kind of a long developing run play right here. I guess it was an option play, but still, he finds his way to get to the secondary, and you see him moving so well, and by this point he's going to locate his block, and he basically hits the safety right here. And if this guy wasn't here, this might have been a touchdown. So you have to give Tristan Wirfs a lot of credit to just keep hustling on this play and playing all the way to the whistle, but his speed is showing up in a lot of these plays, so you love to see that. So this is the first negative rep I saw right here, but it wasn't terrible. So here he is at right tackle, and his man basically beats him on a spin move. His arms are not extended here, so it's not the best rep from him, but I don't think it resulted in anything too bad. I guess he didn't allow a sack, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I'll try to slow it down for you guys real quick. So let's see the footwork. I mean, it's not terrible. I just think he just does not lock his arms soon enough. I think he just doesn't initiate contact soon enough, and if he got his arms locked a bit sooner, I think this would have been fine, but I think the defensive end right here, he's able to beat him inside on the spin move, does not move to his left quick enough right here. The quarterback does a good job of getting out of it, but that's still allowing a pressure right there. So, I mean, sometimes he will get beat on the inside, Tristan Wirfs, on some pass plays. I'm sure I'll show some later, but this is an instance right here where he does not lock his arms soon enough, and it kind of cost him right there. But luckily, it didn't result in the sack. So Wirfs is known for having a really strong base, but this is one instance where it was kind of concerning because he literally had both feet in the air, and this bull rush almost got him right here. So you watch, I mean, he has both feet in the air basically twice. He hopped back twice, so it wasn't the best rep in the world. So we see right here, I mean, once again, I mean, his feet aren't that great right now. I mean, you should not be hopping back like this. I mean, his feet are in the air right here, and then he does it once again. And you see his left tackle did a better job. I mean, we'll watch the left tackle on a similar pass rushing move right here. Does a better job, locks his arms, and just keeps his feet on the ground this time. I mean, yeah, he doesn't give up a sack, but this would once again be another pressure. So it's something to watch out for. I do think Tristan Wirfs has his, some flaws in pass protection. I think he's better in run protection or run blocking, I should say, but his pass protection sometimes is a bit iffy. I mean, he does get beat inside, as I said, sometimes, but even on some bull rush moves, this stuff could happen. So it wasn't the worst rep in the world, but I wish he had a stronger base on that play. So Wirfs wasn't too involved in this play right here, but it showed a lot of nastiness that we like to see from offensive linemen. He does a good job of basically having his shoulders at a 90-degree angle from the line of scrimmage. So you see him right here, his shoulders are here, line of scrimmage is right here. So it does a really nice job of that and just basically pushes his man on the ground and just goes back on top of him. So you love seeing a rep like that. That's something good. I mean, it wasn't part of the play, as I said before, but this is a really good technique. I like what I saw. And when you get a guy on the ground like that, you don't let him get up. So that's a really nice rep by Tristan Wirfs. So this was another play I was not too enthusiastic about. So he's right here. This is actually a run blocking play, but I wish he squared up the linebacker he's blocking. I think he's right here, this guy, so we'll see. Yes, it's him. So, I mean, yeah, he does not do a good job of squaring up his block. I think he was trying to seal and have his running back go to the right side, which I understand, but I think his running back was still having patience in the backfield and tried to go, cut back towards the middle, and basically Wirfs was not able to square up his block. So, I mean, we saw a lot of times with Andrew Thomas, I mean, even Mekhi Becton, if you watch him, just does a really good job at squaring up his blocks in the run game. So if he did that here, it would have been a better rep, but I just think he just lets his guy go too easily right here. Of course, you can't hold at this point because that would be a holding call. So I think by this point you just have to let it go. And unfortunately, it's a tackle for a 1-yard gain. But I think Tristan Wirfs probably could have done a better job of squaring his shoulders right here for his running back. But it probably would have been a bad play anyway because he's already got 2 other defenders around him. But when you're just watching Wirfs, I mean, I think I saw some negatives on this play. So I wish he squared up his block a bit better. So this game started out pretty well, but as the game went on, I just started to see more and more negatives, and here's another instance of it right here. He's going to get beat on the outside by this edge defender or defensive end right here, and his feet just stopped moving. I don't know what happened exactly. I mean, I think he was, not called for holding on this play, but you definitely could have called it right here, but the quarterback got sacked anyway, so, I mean, it really doesn't matter, but if you look at Wirfs, I mean, his feet just stopped moving. I think he's leaning too far inside at one point right here, and, when you have those things happen, your man's going to beat you outside, and that's exactly what happened. And this is why I like Andrew Thomas and Jedrick Wills over Tristan Wirfs. I think Wirfs is a fine prospect. He should be a good tackle in the NFL one day, but when you're talking about guys that are more consistent and just have better technique, I think Andrew Thomas right now and of course Jedrick Wills are a little better. So when you have reps like this, and I've definitely seen a few of them at least in 2 games I watched here, that's not something you want to see for a guy you might take potentially 4th overall. So we're on to the second game now against Wisconsin here, and I think he is right here covered up by the tight end, so it's kind of hard to see, but he does a really nice job right here of sealing off his defender for the bootleg right here and gives his quarterback more time. So Wirfs is right here against number 97, does a really nice job here. I like that. Once again, has his shoulders 90 degrees to the line of scrimmage, and when you do that on plays where you're supposed to seal, I think it's a very good thing. I'm no offensive line expert. When you see that happen, though, it's usually a good rep, so I like seeing that a lot. Gave his quarterback a lot of time there, and they were able to pick up a first down on this play. We saw a couple of these plays earlier, but a nice run play in the run game right here. So he's going to push his guy down, create that hole once again, and this is just a really good block. Running back does a really nice job right there to pick up extra yards, but you watch Wirfs right here. He's going to get out of his stance and just start pushing to the left to try and create that seal once again to open up this middle part of the field. That's basically what he does. The running back does follow that hole. Gets out of a tackle right here, but you watch Wirfs, he's basically on top of his guy already. I mean, this is not like a block in the back or anything like that. That's definitely legal, so he's doing a nice job just keeping his shoulders square, pushing his guy to the ground, and his running back makes a very nice play behind him. So here we have some potential future teammates going against each other. Zach Baun right here, a guy that people love in the second round for the Giants, and Tristan Wirfs, of course. And Zach Baun nearly puts him on the ground right here with this bull rush play. I mean, quarterback gets rid of it early. He definitely probably would have beat him inside if he held on to the ball, but that's a pretty ugly rep right there. I mean, we see Wirfs retreating right here and doesn't really meet him. He doesn't really come at him strong enough. And, Zach Baun basically almost knocks him over right here. And by the time he gets his hands on him, he's basically almost on his butt. So a nice play right there by Baun. Luckily, the quarterback got rid of it early, but that could have been an ugly pass protection rep right there for Wirfs. So I do think it's fair to call Tristan Wirfs inconsistent because he did have some rough pass blocking plays before, but then you see one like this where he just looks really good right here. I mean, basically squares up his guy perfectly and gets him on the ground by the end of it. So that's a really good rep right there. Just shows that nastiness once again. You love that. So gets his feet moving well, locks his arms, gets his arms lower than his defenders. So you like the leverage right there. And really just doesn't really have anything. I mean, he just pushes him to the ground, and, this play goes for nothing basically for Iowa. But for Tristan Wirfs, he does a fantastic job, in my opinion, protecting his quarterback on this play, even finishing it in a nasty way. So I mentioned before that he can get beat inside on some pass protecting plays, and here's an instance right here against Zach Baun. Basically just has a juke move, it looks like, on the inside and just gets the best of him. But the quarterback lets go of it early, so really, no damage there done. But still, I mean, you look at Wirfs right here, does not get his hands on him. And right here, just caught flat-footed. I don't really like seeing that. And Zach Baun is a very athletic player, obviously, but you're going to be facing some athletic edge rushers in the NFL, so it should not be any different. I mean, Zach Baun's an NFL-caliber player, obviously, but you're going to be going against guys like this every week. So if you're getting beat this badly in one game by Zach Baun, it might be an issue in the NFL. So obviously, I have my concerns about him in pass protection, especially on the inside. And if you do stuff like this, it's not going to be good for you, obviously. Now here, he returns the favor and gets the best of Zach Baun. This is a run-blocking play, however, but still, really nice job right here. Squaring up that block, just gives him nothing and pushes him to the ground. I wish he stayed on top of him a bit longer, but still, it's still a really good rep regardless. And his the running back does not really go his direction, so it's not really part of the play. But just to, throw a guy like Zach Baun, that caliber of player to the ground like that, I know he lost his footing probably, but still, it just shows the strength right there by Tristan Wirfs and just shows that really good base and had really good hands on this play. So it is inconsistent, as I said before, but if he can just master his craft and get better and more consistent in the NFL, this guy has a chance to be a really good tackle one day. So here's the last play we're going to go over here, and it ends on a pretty positive note here in pass protection. This is not Zach Baun, but still a nice job right there by Tristan Wirfs. Keeps the feet moving. He locks his arms pretty early in this one, and he does get pushed back a little bit, I'll admit that, but still a very nice rep right there. It looks like his guy has no momentum at this point, and he's basically out of the play. Quarterback has a lot of time to throw the ball. First down, nice job there. So I think Tristan Wirfs on this final play does a very nice job kicking out right here, locking his arms early, moving those feet pretty well. And yeah, it does a nice job. So I think compared to Jedrick Wills and Andrew Thomas, I would rather have Thomas and Wills, obviously. I think right now I have Wills a bit over Thomas, and then I have Thomas second. And then I'd probably put Wirfs third, but I mean, I just have concerns about Wirfs the most out of these guys, unfortunately. So there's too many inconsistencies in pass blocking. There was, a couple run plays as well. We did not square up his blocks, but there's a lot to like. I mean, talking about athleticism, this guy has it all. You talk about, a really fast guy that can make some big plays happen, because if he can get down the field and make some blocks that other offensive linemen can't make, it's obviously going to help you there. So he has a lot to like about him. I think this guy has all the tools in the world to be a very good NFL player, but I think to take him fourth overall, it might be a bit risky as compared to Jedrick Wills and Andrew Thomas. I think right now they're more NFL ready, but if he's coached the right way, I think Andrew Thomas has everything to be a good pro. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I think I covered everything. I said pass blocking, it kind of concerns me a bit. I think sometimes he oversets out of his stance and gets a bit too wide, but, the best tackles in the NFL, they don't get beat inside too often. So when you see this guy get beat inside, a pretty consistent amount in college, it's a bit concerning, but I do think it's something that could be fixed. It really depends what team he goes to and how he's coached, so I guess we'll see what happens in the coming years for Tristan Wirfs. But I would not be mad about this pick. I just do think the other two guys, Thomas and Wills, are more NFL ready right now, so that's kind of what I have to say about that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know what other prospects you want to see for videos like this, and I'll talk to you next time.